Rage Whale. Making waves over movies.
Hi guys. Oh, there he is. Welcome to episode 22.
You just started without giving me a warning.
I know.
Like a rapist.
Fuck's sake.
Wow.
You keep saying when we starting, so
There was a
started.
line,
You just
guys. There was a
started. You're
line.
meant to give me a countdown.
It
Also,
does,
why are
doesn't
you
it?
dressed like a tour guide now? Where'd that
Visual.
jacket come from?
Me?
Yeah, why you put a jacket on?
It's not a
was good,
jacket.
man.
It's just a.
You're like blending in with your wall. You live like a symphony of beige, don't you?
That's my wall is like red.
Oh, it looks brown.
This is orange.
I think it's good, man. It's good.
This is like a burnt orange top.
You colour coordinated with your house, which is impressive.
You
God,
look like a
The
detective.
dog's coming in now. This is
Oh,
a
good.
mental
That's
start.
no way to talk about Sadie.
And
So
Goodbye.
rude.
sorry, guys. It's the woofie.
Oh, this guy again.
Oh.
You should smell him. Smell him.
Lop-eared twat.
Fucking amazing.
What do you smell? Vanilla? Coconut?
What are you, Joe Biden? Stop smelling things.
Wait.
Does
The
Joe
dog
Biden
smells
smell?
amazing.
Kev, you look like you work in a museum now.
Should I take this off?
No, leave
Did
it
you
on.
take
Have you got like a flat cap you can put on with it?
I just try to change the looks a little bit so that
No.
Yeah,
French
at least tell-
beret.
I can
A
at least
French
tell
beret.
what episode's which because I usually
Oh.
just wear a black hoodie all the time.
I've changed.
I mean,
You're just gonna look like a
you swapped
you know
44 for 24.
basketball
Yeah, for
player
10 points though, another retired jersey. Do you know whose this is?
every episode.
I'll give you a clue.
24.
The only
Kiefer
player that
Sutherland.
has 2 numbers retired.
Kiefer
I'll
Sutherland.
give you a clue, James. Me and Drew know naff all about NBA.
Okay, name a famous basketball player.
Michael Jordan,
Yeah, I was
Another
gonna say that's not fair.
Shaq.
Closer.
O'Neal?
I'm out.
Give you a clue. Helicopter.
Dead.
Yeah.
Oh,
I know
Kobe Bryant.
a guy died.
Oh, yeah.
Kobe, not a guy.
Kobe O'Brien.
The icon.
Yeah. He came up with some profound things as well, man. Some of the interviews about him were just unbelievable.
I'm
The
going to
way
say
he
something
saw the world.
profound. The most impactful death since, it's in regards to reaction globally. Not going to say the Queen, but as far as reactions, since Diana.
Do you know?
As in sporting events, the Oscars, footballing things, like award shows, everything just took a standstill when he died. And there was tributes everywhere across every sport, tennis. There was people and like in football given like I've never seen anything like that when like an athlete has passed ever.
Yeah, he was an icon. Well, he was an icon, man. He was. Do you know what I mean? He was more
Well, he was a
than.
bit of a celebrity as well, so he passed into other. He was on TV shows and stuff.
He was a
I know
genius.
the name. I don't know the
Absolute
job.
genius.
My
Like you should hear him like talking and that. It's like
That's
his
what I mean,
motivational
like-
speaking and stuff is
yeah,
absolutely
the
amazing.
way he talks about life, man. He's almost like an Alan Watts. Like he's so profound.
That's an interesting subject. The biggest, not biggest deaths, but the impactful deaths that's happened recently. And if we're on the TV movies scenario last year, Matthew Perry, that was a big one.
Well, this is the crazy thing. Matthew Perry died, but it didn't stop anything, did you? You didn't see like people all over the globe doing like
Oh no, it was
sport, like doing tributes, doing like
I
all
did.
these
Oh, there
things. It was
was
crazy.
Yeah,
Loads of
no,
tributes,
No,
man.
not
Perry
in the
was
same way.
huge. That was a huge one.
Yeah, but it wasn't like stopping anything. Like
No. But at live
No.
gigs, musicians would stop and they play the track from Friends in honor of Matthew Perry.
And I started watching Friends from the beginning to end again, which was phenomenal. I really enjoyed it. I might put it on again, to be honest. It's really good.
did you
Going back
notice
to
how
Kobe,
Matthew Perry develops a lisp as the series goes on?
Well, yeah, he becomes drunk. He's an addict. He's like episode 1, he's like fine. Episode 2, he finds alcohol. Series 3, sorry, he finds drugs.
Do you remember when he was in Whole Nine Yards?
he was
Huh?
amazing in that.
The Whole
Amazing.
9 Yards. It was actually
Amazing.
quite a good film, wasn't it?
Really
Yeah,
good.
he was bigger than Bruce Willis at the time, technically, even though he wasn't.
It's funny, isn't it? Because none of them really went on to have staggering.
Jennifer Aniston has.
Jennifer Aniston's killing it, man.
Massive.
Not Name one amazing film she's been in. And they did a lot of movies, but nothing great.
She was in lots of small stuff, and then
that's what I mean.
became
More
I mean,
TV.
Courtney Cox had Scream.
She still only has Scream.
Yeah, David Arquette. Sorry, David Schwimmer was the giraffe in Madagascar.
And he was in The Lawyer. He was the Kardashian lawyer in the OJ series.
Oh yeah, OJ, R.I.P.
Yeah,
He's also in that
the OJ TV series was amazing.
Intelligence. He's in the Intelligence, the comedy thing.
Yeah,
where he's a detective spy thing.
None of them really went on to. I mean, you had Matt LeBlanc did Lost in Space, was pretty bad. Lisa Kudrow. Actually, no. Lisa Kudrow's got the best film out of all of them, hands down.
Romeo and Michelle?
No, you idiot. And I'll give you a clue. One of your guys is in it, Val Kilmer. One of his best ever movies.
Oh, is it when he impersonates the Doors? Not the Doors.
Do you know what? Is it his best ever movie?
I don't know what you're
going to go on a limb here and say it might be his best. No, he was pretty good as Jim Morrison. This might be his number 2.
Have you seen Val? The documentary?
No, but that's not really a movie, is it? I would say Val Kilmer's top 3 movies were Top Gun, obviously. What was one I just mentioned? Oh, The Doors. I think it was just called The Doors.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you've ever seen a film, actually, I believe it was based on a true story, called Wonderland.
Yeah. Aren't they all like high?
It's about a true story about the porn star John Holmes, who Val Kilmer plays.
Yeah.
And he ends up being part of this mass murder thing. Like this drug dealing mass murder. I watched it on the plane to New York, and it was so good. I watched it like 2.5 times. Bought it on DVD as soon as I got home, and watched it like another 2 or 3 times. It's absolutely amazing.
That's dedication, dude.
It's called Wonderland. You should watch it. It is so good.
Can I say, jumping back to the Kobe thing, when I was working on the bar, my mate was telling me, obviously, he says, if every time you take a shot, if you say Kobe before taking a shot, it always goes in the bin.
I do that at work.
It became this phenomenon. Mate, it became this phenomenon, and it's like Kobe's spirit lives in everyone. When they take a shot, they never miss. If you say his name before you throw something at a bin.
Cool story.
But it is a cool story, man. It is a really cool story.
We forgot to preface this episode and say what we're doing. We're going to answer a question from the public and talk about a new film, maybe, if we have time.
If we have time, 2 films.
Well, I think one we'll gloss over because there's too many spoilers, and then the other one, we can spoil as much as we want.
Do you want to mention the films, though, just for any viewers listening?
Nah. Yeah, no.
It's not a guess who, man.
All
it's
right,
like
2 films that me and Drew saw, not together, was Civil War and Back to Black.
Yep.
But first of all, should we go to the questions from the audience? That was almost Stewie. Wasn't good enough to be Stewie, but accidentally was close to Stewie.
Let's go to the audience. Oh, yes.
Can you say what you said last episode, Drew? You're Stewie. You're drunk.
I think you're drunk. You're sexy. Yeah.
I like that. Okay, so we've had a question. We've had a couple of questions in from Joe.
Joe who?
Malone.
Joe Malone makes some good fragrance.
I worked with her in London.
Bloody expensive though.
So we just call her Joe or Jojo.
Jojo.
Was it Joe or Jojo? Because now you're confusing things.
Yeah, we'll just call her Joe because I can't.
Is her surname Rabbit? Jojo Rabbit. No?
It's Minoy or Minoyne. Minone. I'm going for Minone because
Kylie Minogue.
You don't even know Jojo unknown.
It's one of those things you never call anyone by your full names when you know them anyway.
Unknown.
You know them.
What?
Wait, are they a friend?
Yeah.
You don't know their surname.
Yeah, I do know her surname.
How do you refer to James?
She's from not Zurich. She's from that bit that's in France, that's right next to Switzerland. That's the border goes through the city. Is that right?
Straight through the mic.
Not about Andorra or something, are you?
It's like that, but no, it's in.
Sorry to interrupt the show. Just a little reminder to say, check out our social media handles and follow us on Instagram and TikTok if you're not already. If you enjoy this podcast, why not share it with friends? And better yet, rate the show. Thanks for your time. Now, let's get back to the mayhem.
It's in France, but it's also on the border of somewhere else. Geneva.
Vatican
Geneva.
City. Geneva. Oh, they had a good
border.
convention there once.
Yeah. You know how I live in Chester? Chester's on the border. Like, I could walk to Wales in 3 minutes from my house. Wales, 3 minutes walk.
Can you? By the way, that's next week's episode. We're going to time Kev how long it takes him to walk to Wales.
I might have milked that. It might be
Get a GoPro on his head.
It might be a 10-minute job.
For every minute after, he donates £10 to charity.
That's a good idea.
Charity, I mean me and Drew.
I'm down with that. Yeah, charity starts with podcast.
He started. He's gone now. Look, he's gone.
Shut the hell up, right?
He's come back with a sheep.
1 minute. Doesn't James owe me £10? Talking about betting. I think James owes me £10, doesn't he?
James is doing the Homer disappearing in the bush emoji.
What was you £10 for?
What was that? What was that for? Oh yeah, that woman that said Steven Spielberg doesn't have any.
Two blondes.
And you got pretty uppity
but she
about
looks
it.
like the other one.
But James, there's evidence, man. There's actual evidence of you guys making a bet.
Yeah, I know. I'm going to do a Donald Trump and just send someone some hush money.
Yeah, send me £10.
£10.
But you got well angry about it, and you literally said, "I will kill you," and then brought up a photo and said, "Bam!" And I just
doesn't look like it though.
And then you tried to use "I will kill you" on social media, and the piece got cancelled.
Yeah, I've got to be careful. Some of these stuff that we put up, just a joke, it can be read, and just the word is enough, and it takes.
Just to check, you're not allowed to threaten life. By the way, Kev, you're Scottish. Have you seen what your Scotland, aka Nazi Germany, are like now? By the way, do not put this podcast in Scotland.
I beg your pardon.
I'm sorry.
Scotland is essentially Nazi Germany now.
Have
you not seen their new hate crime law? Where if you say this counts if you're in your private home, if you're on the internet, if you're anywhere, if you say anything that's remotely offensive regarding race, sexuality, age, or anything, you can be arrested. The first week of that coming into fruition, they had over 8,000 police reports filed because someone had called someone fat or something. There's a really funny interview of an old Scottish lady who got reported to the police because she said a few choice words to someone, and they reported her to the police. It's that bad. It's that stupid MP that's up there, that Hams or whatever his name is, and it's you can't say anything now. So basically, Jimmy Carr cannot go up there.
A hate crime law, so people are actually not absolute arseholes to each other. But
it's not hate crime. It's basically if I went and called you a fat twat, you could call the police on me and I'd get arrested. That's how ridiculous it is.
But that's how bad it is.
Why would you call someone that?
It's like common decency not to do that, and if you do that, you're a bit of a dick, and that's the end of it. But yeah, I think you're right, to be honest, because in theory it sounds like a good thing to stop people being pricks, but you then end up being
ridiculous.
Big Brother, don't you? You end up being over policing.
It's massive freedom of speech infringement.
And if a police person is responding to you calling me a fat twat rather than arresting a
I think in the first 24 hours,
I'm going to be annoyed.
24 hours, they legit got 4,000
and it's wasting police
that they
time.
had to follow up on every single one of them. 4,000 reports.
Yeah, but that's it. Unless it's an actual race hate thing that is escalating to violence, then shut the hell up. Go deal with a murderer. Go deal with a thief.
Anything that incites any sort of upset or hate. If you Google it and look at it, it's so funny. It's the ultimate backfire of making a law because they had thousands and thousands of complaints. A lot of people were spamming them as well because it was so ridiculous. But they have to follow up on every single one. So that's 8,000 in a week.
I was going to say, otherwise it'll be like Hot Fuzz, where you've got the police searching for a missing swan. Do you know what I mean?
Well, essentially, if you do letter of the law, Jimmy Carr, Ricky Gervais, they cannot perform in Scotland because they will get arrested.
Well, a lot of comedians, mate. This is a really
not all comedians are offensive. Some are clean, aren't they?
Yeah, but there's still. Sorry, Drew. You are quiet to us. I know you'll be fine to record, but you are a little.
I hope so. Okay. Well, a lot of comedians are actually worried about that because a lot of them actually have corporate gigs, is where they make their main money, right? But if they get called out on a standout show, and then it becomes an actual criminal case, they then can't perform at these corporate events where they make their actual money.
It's such a ridiculous law to pass. It's beyond ridiculous.
I'm just thinking, Drew, from our perspective, how much battery do you have in your laptop? Loads?
I'm full, man. I'm ready to rock and roll. Why?
Unplug it. You said you hadn't had it unplugged because it went quiet when you plugged it in.
No, in that case, no, I need more juice. More juice. I need more juice.
You'll be fine.
I can be louder, though. Do I need to be louder, or?
A touch. You're sometimes okay, and then earlier we talked over you because I didn't hear you interject.
I just think we like to talk over each other. It just creates an ambience.
I've just read a thing, by the way.
He's loud. He's loud.
It says hate crime laws send Hamza Youssef, who's the guy up there, his popularity has plummeted.
There you go.
Well, I wonder what's going to happen on the political landscape in all countries at the moment, because we're up for a referendum or a general election later this year.
Just a quick one here.
Can I say
this is on the Daily Mail online, so it's not like a thing, but it says, could Al Murray's pub landlord be arrested over Scotland's new hate crime?
Whoa.
I watched remember that old program, that comedy, Gimme Gimme Gimme?
1 Foot in the Grave.
Why did you say 1 Foot in the Grave?
It's an old comedy, man.
No, I was about to tell you, Gimme Gimme Gimme, that one.
Oh yeah.
James Look Up, that one.
Yeah, remember that?
Yeah. Me and Sadie watched that. It's on BBC still, the three series. It's like short episodes, and it is hilarious.
Is that great? That's not Graham Norton, is it?
No, it's Kathy Burke.
Am I really loud, by the way? Because I turned my mic up.
You're loud, but it's perfectly loud. It's good. But anyway, that program we watched, and every 5 seconds, me and Sadie, we got used to have a couple of episodes, but the first couple of episodes, every 5 seconds, we both looked at each other like, because it shouldn't be on TV, because it's not suitable for today's. Well, I don't give a fuck because we watched it when it came out, but it is the most homophobic gay joke. She fancies our flatmate, who's gay man, and all she does is take the piss out of gay people all the way through. But even worse than that is he takes the piss out of her because she's not skinny and does fat jokes the whole time. So it's gay jokes and fat jokes, and then an old woman is the neighbor who used to be a prostitute in the 60s. So she's called the old... Anyway, the jokes are pretty horrendous all the way through. And this is stuff that I remember being on not late night. It was like 8 o'clock at night this was on when we were kids.
It's not playing in Scotland, though, is it?
Yeah, but the thing is, that's why you don't get good comedy. You get good stand-up comedy now. The only reason you get good stand-up comedy is because of Netflix and Prime, because they let things fly.
Because of Ricky Gervais.
The reason why you just don't get good comedy films anymore.
You can't censor
stuff. You can't
stuff.
risk.
But
you can't risk offending people, so it's like, oh no.
A comedian said something fascinating the other day on a really cool Netflix stand-up thing. I can't remember what it was now, but he's brilliant. I'll try and find him in a sec. But he was saying, why are comedians being held accountable? He says, our job is to make people laugh and enjoy themselves. Whereas you've got like corrupt governments doing really dodgy things. But he's like, put the light on the comedians. They're the ones responsible. He's like, what the fuck? It's like slapping the clowns. Like, we're just here to entertain.
Yeah.
Did you see? You're both familiar with Matt Rife, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't say that. We've heard that joke already. Don't say the headgear one.
Oh, okay. But he's done other things now recently where he just doesn't care. He'll just say it, and he'll take the thing.
Well, you've probably heard this one then. So, Jimmy Carr, I don't know how old it is. It's pretty new. It's like it might be on this series, this new stand-up that he's just got on Netflix now. But there was a little teaser, and it goes, I might get cancelled again. And the first time I was going to get cancelled. And he goes, I've thought about this. I've got the perfect response. So when someone says, you need to apologize for what you said or you're cancelled, do you know what I'm going to say? And Jimmy Carr goes, I'm sorry. and they'll say, wait a minute, you said you're sorry, but it doesn't sound like you mean it. And he'll go, oh, so you understand that I can say something, but not mean it. So all my jokes about murder and death, it's a joke. It's play on words. I don't mean it. So he's out. So
someone made a good comment as well. I
That's
can't remember what
genius,
comedian
though.
it was. One of the comedians was saying that, like, if you say anything that's a little bit like offensive on stage, people go mad. But no one is kicking off at like directors of movies. Like, who did all Inglourious Basterds? It was Tarantino, wasn't it?
Yeah.
No one's calling him a Nazi because he made a Nazi-related movie, either. You can say what you want in movies, but when you're doing it as a comedy, it's like people get super triggered by it.
Yeah, that's it. And people doing these like biopics, they fictionalize parts of it as well. So are they going to get called out for fabricating the truth? Unfortunately, you can't be there for every part of someone's life. So you know the headlines of a famous person, but you can't link them unless you create a fictional but plausible scenario from what you
Well, you know, speaking about going back to movies, the best example of a artistic license in a biopic is Dragon, the Bruce Lee story. Probably one of your favourites, Kev.
Yeah.
There is a part of that that is so far-fetched, it's beyond ridiculous. And it's the bit where he's in an underground dojo surrounded by elders and he gets like ninja kicks in the back and breaks his back. Yeah, quite a big part of the film.
Yeah.
Drew, do you know how he actually broke his back in real life?
I'm getting deja vu, dude. I swear this is in another episode.
Maybe, but we're on the subject. Yeah, he broke his back lifting weights in the YMCA. So
but they just fabricated it to make it
completely,
look more...
yeah.
Yeah, I think they've got higher standards to keep to these days on biopics, but still.
Can you see that?
Not really, it's blurry.
No. Neil Brennan, crazy good.
Don't know. Pull it away from the camera.
Still super blurry. You look like you're on a potato cam at the moment. Like you filming your thing on a remote.
There you go.
Yeah, I think the light, the ring light probably affects the quality as well.
Yeah, your quality is so bad.
It's
only crazy blur.
You can see my face, man. You look like you're in a disco.
You're like pixel. Your face is made out of small squares.
Yeah, you're not focus.
Nice son of a...
Drew, maybe you should buy a webcam because the Apple webcams are notoriously bad.
I'm on an Apple.
Your computer's newer than his.
Kevin and I are the Apple children. We're all good, man. It's just I can't get the screen looking.
Don't try and call yourself an Apple child with your Samsung phone.
Hey, Android's all good, man. I don't want to link all my stuff up. I don't like that.
Absolutely not.
Apple's like, do you want to link your mobile to your iPad?
I'm sorry, did we just hear Drew call himself an Apple child and instantly regret it and say, I don't like Apple?
Yes, I said I don't like...
why he doesn't like Apple.
I said I don't like the way they link everything. I like
think
individuality.
We should remove your Apple laptop from your house and give you a Windows one.
I like my life in separate little sections.
What are you on about? Linking it makes it amazing because I can.
What you're saying, you've got a burner phone.
I can just flip it over somewhere. It makes it easier.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. I'm a drug dealer, so I don't want everything connected.
I will say, there's nothing more fun than looking at something on your phone, putting it down, opening your laptop or iPad, and it's like instantly across there.
Yeah, but
if you want it to, you don't have to. You press a button to make it happen.
These things listen to us anyway, mate. So if I...
Well, don't be an old fuddy-duddy. You're not 80 years old.
What are you talking about?
My parents are like, oh, I don't want internet banking because I don't want to have my finances on the internet. I'm like, they're like, I won't pay with anything on my... I'm like,
no.
I don't own a wallet anymore.
No,
my mobile
annoyed.
phone. No, listen, my phone is my wallet. I don't have a wallet anymore. When I pay for something,
my wallet.
I bought a bike, an electric bike on my phone, and my parents went...
Oh, that's like my voice is my password. My phone is my wallet. I get it. What I'm saying is...
I've never used a wallet since pretty much the pandemic. Like,
I know, but what I'm saying is I don't want to be watching a film and all of these updates come through because of my fucking phone that's now linked up to my laptop.
That doesn't happen. What are you on about?
No, God, you're such a noob. Kev, by the way, on the basis of what you just said there about your banking being on your phone, I had a conversation with someone the other day saying, wouldn't it be better if we could vote when an election comes around on an app on a phone? And their response was, yeah, but it's not secure. And I was like,
shut up.
How do you bank?
I
was like, I bank on my phone. So you trust all your money on your phone, but not a little red or blue box.
I bought a car in December. I bought a car in December, and I was with my parents at the time because I don't know anything about cars. So I was like, Dad, because they recently moved to my area. So I was like, Dad, come, get them involved a bit in my life as well because we get to see each other now. So I was like, come out for the day and we'll go test drive some cars. And you can tell me if the one I like shit because I don't know anything about cars. Anyway, bought a car, and my mum was like, "Oh, how you sorting this? Have you got your card? Have you got?" And I just
checkbook.
It was like thousands of pounds for the deposit, and I just went boop, and she went. I was like, "You don't want to do that on that. You want to do that a bit safer." I'm like, "This is safer." She goes, "Yeah, but anyone could take your phone off you." Goes, "Yeah, but they don't have my face. They need my face.
Take your back debit card off you as well.
I need to click a button, and it needs to see my face at the same time." If I have a debit card, exactly, they can nick.
Isn't it mad though? Because when you do vote, you have to go out of your way to go to like a town hall or a random place at a very specific time. And what's more secure, by the way? What's more secure? Pressing an app that you have to log into with like your national ID or your passport or driving license,
exactly.
Or going to a little box and ticking a bit of paper, putting it in a box that they can blatantly open and change.
I don't want to go conspiracy theory, but do you know why they do this?
It's like so
So in America especially, they do this because you've got to have ID. You cannot be a felon, and you've got to arrive in person. And they know that cuts out pretty much a huge percentage of the black community. So in America, all the white people and affluent people can vote, and all the black people, obviously, all the black people can vote as well. But the high percentage chance of a black person being a felon because of a very racist government who pull over black people for doing nothing, or the disenfranchised black people who have to revert to other means. So that less black people vote. So it always skews in the favor of a slight demographic. And in England, even though we're not doing our phones, if I'd vote, I don't vote. And I think that's awful because I want to. And I just can't be arsed. And I think that's terrible because I've got opinions about it, but I'm not allowed an opinion.
I made a valid point the other day, actually.
I haven't voted.
I don't think anyone should be able to vote because I think it should be it should be left to educated people to know what's going on. Because when I was saying this to someone, they were like, "Oh, of course we have to vote." And I pointed out the window and I said this to like one of my bosses. I said, "Is that bloke who's walking over there, like pushing that bike? Would you let him come in here and tell you how to run your business?"
Yeah.
And he was like, "Absolutely not." I was like, "Well, why would you let him decide who runs the country?" It's just random people. They don't just pick people based on who they like because of a poster or something.
Off with the fact that Boris Johnson and all these people are like, they go, not Harvard, that's America. What do we have? Oxford and Cambridge. And I'm like, yeah, he's a bit of a toff and he's a bit of a prick, but I would rather a toff that is educated in it be doing it than Darren from the council estate round the corner who's got a good idea.
I think they should just have. I think it's insane that we still have Parliament where it's basically the red team versus the blue team, and regardless how they don't care how the country, they just have to be against the other team.
And
with
they
a little
all,
bloke
they
in a
all
wig
lie to win
with a
their
hammer,
position.
like it's 1902.
And they don't have to do all that. Yeah, they lie to get in place, and then they don't have to do the things they promised. There's no legal system to say, "Oh, you got in that position because you promised X, Y, and Z, so you have to do it."
No, yeah, there's no.
They're not
also,
held
the
accountable.
problem becomes when you
accountable for their lies. Yeah.
You know how much Rishi Sunak's worth?
Oh,
too much.
His wife.
Billions.
Yeah, she.
So you've got billionaires that have never spent a day of their life in the real world. Controlling 90% of people that are not rich.
Mate, this is why they don't have empathy. So when they're saying that people have to make a choice between eating or freezing to death, it's like they can't understand that world. So how can they make decisions based on what people are suffering when they don't have a clue? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, Rishi Sunak is a horrible, horrible, scummy human being, if I can even go.
Doesn't he remind you of the rat from Flushed Away?
I don't know what that is. We need to find that.
Google it. Put Flushed Away, he's on the front cover.
Did you see that? We should probably get off politics because we're going to either turn.
I will say one thing, though. One thing I hate the most about politics is when you have a politician sitting in a pub going, "Oh, I'm just having a pint," like the common man. It's like, really? It's like you're sat in a pub, like, well done. You're doing something that everyone does, like, every day. And they're like, "Oh, look, I'm a man of the people. Having a pint with Jack." It's like, shut up. Imbecile.
Did you see that? Did you see that clip that went? I think it went viral a year, maybe 22 or 23. I can't remember. Rishi Sunak was recently in power, and he's having a meeting outside with his people, not constituents or anything like that, but his mates and stuff. And he did a big speech. I should have remembered what he said before I started this. He said something really bad, like, we're going to take the money out of the poor communities and invest it in developments.
Yeah, I remember something. Also, do you notice something recently that came up? They've upped the bracket for like child support or something to like you can earn up to like 80 grand, which ironically is what MPs make, about £80,000 a year. But everyone moans. Everyone's like, "Oh, he doesn't get paid much for being for being the prime minister." Yes, but he already has billions of pounds. Like Boris already had millions of pounds.
Yeah, but these are not poor people.
He could work for free for the rest of his life.
But not only that, I mean, they get paid to lie, essentially.
They get paid 100 grand a year.
So that
no
brings us back to movies
and do no travelling.
Actors get paid to lie, but no one gets hurt.
Yeah.
Whereas they do it in the economy and housing and
the economy doesn't suffer when someone acts well.
Oh, you got a ghost behind you, Drew.
Oh, hello.
It's alright, it's gone now.
I got a cat. I'll have a cat come in.
Well, we haven't mentioned anything about movies lately, so.
Or even questions.
You know what? Again,
anything really. You know,
this is why we're called Ragewell. We're not called movie podcasts. We just have a general theme that we're going to talk about movies occasionally and stuff like that. So yeah,
we're just three dudes kicking back.
God, that sounded awful. We're just three dudes kicking back, man. Smoking a doobie.
On the porch, man, just sharing a wop.
To be fair, I'm having a rum. I'm down to rum. What do you got, Drew? What are you drinking?
Just rocking with a gin.
Have you got lemon? Gin and tonic. Is that lemon?
It's orange, bro. It's orange.
I've got some
orange
big boy stuff tonight. Thatcher's Vintage.
Oy, oy.
Oh my Jesus Christ! 8.3 bastard.
He's going to be out halfway through this. He'll be like, guys, I just wanted to.
3 and cider. That sounds the most disgusting drink ever.
I remember being at a festival just drinking cider from one of those milk cartons, and I was like, this is the best life.
I hate cider so much.
Do you? I can't drink beer anymore.
Oh, yeah, I'm okay. I like funky beers. I like craft beers, not in a pretentious way, but
I like
a pale ale.
The fancy ones, the ones you get. They're in the fun cans.
Yeah, I like pale ale, like pale ales. That is, or some weird
what's
stuff.
The one I had?
You know, the only cider I like is what's it called? Koppenberg.
Koppenberg, yeah. You're like recording it as well, then.
Yeah, like a summer fruits Koppenberg.
Oh yeah,
I would never choose it, but if like Sadie has that occasionally, and if she can't finish it, I will happily finish it.
Oh yeah, I'd happily finish it. It's amazing, Koppenberg.
That sounded like a threat, Drew.
I will finish it.
I will finish you.
I will finish you. So
should we get off politics?
Oh yeah, no.
Or does anyone want to talk about Trump going to go?
No, I had a cider that was apple pie cider, and it was mind blowing, mate. Mind blowing.
Sounds terrible. If you go to these craft beer places like the one I've got around the corner, there's a beer that is Yorkshire pudding flavored.
Oh no.
There's one that's birthday cake flavored.
There's
one that's
No.
Semen flavored? No, got that wrong.
You mean it comes from the ocean?
Your faces.
You mean it comes from the ocean?
I was just checking that you were paying attention.
Fisherman infused.
No, I'm joking. There's definitely weird choices.
That is definitely a fisherman's kind of friend.
Oh, what was it? It's like strawberry cheesecake flavor. These are beers. These are lagers. Whoa. These are like pale ales.
Oh yeah, no. Remember the strawberry beer they did?
That's quite common. That's just a normal.
It was horrendous. No, that was horrendous.
My mate Ryan, who does listen to this, he says
like a milk.
He's listened to quite a few of them. I don't know if he's listened to all.
Ryan, loving your work, man. Cheers for supporting us.
Yeah, thanks, Ryan.
Cheers, Ryan. Tell your friends.
I'll see you on Friday to pick up the key so I can feed your cat, Yuffie. I'm going to look after his cat on Sunday because he's doing things.
You know, when you were talking about Trump, I thought that was a perfect segue for civil war. Ooh.
Also, mentioned Trump,
and we just go past.
Sebastian Stan
Yes.
is playing Trump in a film about Trump.
Oh.
I've also just remembered the drink I like. It's from Beavertown.
Oh, wait a minute. Should I guess? Shall I tell you?
Yeah.
From Beavertown, my favourite is Gamma Ray.
Not that.
Oh, you're on about neck oil then?
Yes, I am. That stuff's great.
Gamma Ray.
That's what I had when I went to the football with Mike up at the went to watch West Ham versus Olympiacos in the.
It's a fairly strong one, that one, isn't it?
Yeah.
Strong flavoured as well.
Yeah, we went to watch West Ham Olympiacos at Olympic Stadium. Went to a proper West Ham pub beforehand and just had loads of neck oil.
Wait,
did you
go to West Ham?
Beavertown?
One sec. Did you go to West Ham Stadium?
Yeah,
as in London Stadium.
The Olympic Stadium, yeah.
That's where I went to see Foo Fighters, and I saw Green Day there.
Yeah, West Ham are kind of like my adopted team because I go with Mike to see him a bit. We've seen him a few times now.
Sweet.
Did you see the amazing thing that Beavertown are doing at the moment? So it's called, I don't know if it's going to show. Yes.
Open
up.
I saw that in the cinema. There's a 5-minute short video.
Which is amazing, right? So a couple of guys are in a pub, say, and they get a packet of these crisps with the beer that they'd have. Once they crack it open, there's actually deep conversations that men could be potentially talking about in regards to mental health. And it's for campaign against living miserably, which is the Calm charity. Calm door. Car door.
We should partner up because, we can make people live miserably.
Mate, I absolutely agree. And I think it's well worth plugging Beavertown beer because I think what they're doing is a fantastic. Yeah, everyone should get their beaver out and talk about
Justin Bieber,
the things going on in their lives because heavy things. It's important to talk about them, man. Sometimes
it is, but more importantly, the football is really good, and the Olympic Stadium is massive. I've never been to a football stadium like it. It even makes Wembley look like low grade. It's crazy.
My cat is trying to escape. Sorry, that's not an analogy or I can't remember what the word is. My cat's trying to leave.
If I can turn my camera,
my cat's had enough of rage.
Mine's got 3 legs.
Drew.
Yeah.
I've got a cat shelf on my office.
A cat shelf.
Okay, can you get some roller blinds, please? Those shutter ones are offensive.
I've got a cat shelf.
Can you see her?
Your cat is chilling and is really
Your cat merely adopted the shelf. I was born on the shelf, raised on it.
I spent. I think that's £120 for that shelf.
You got tucked up there.
It's like
never heard of DIY.
It's a specific cat shelf that you can put.
It's a specific cat
shelf. So she jumps up on my desk and just let it sit in there.
Yeah, because she jumps up on my desk and then goes on a little cat shelf. She can look out the window, but I've got a tree outside, so she can look at the birds, and then she curls up and just purrs next to me while I'm working. It's lovely.
Can I just say that my mate said something fascinating about advertising, and he said, "Do you notice that the advertising for cat food is mental in the sense that it's not the cat that makes the choice; it's the owners that have no clue what cat food tastes like. Yet, how do you know which brand to buy?
Oh,
it smells disgusting, though, doesn't it?
But cats are very specific. We buy a very specific brand that she really likes. But every now and again, she'll stop eating, so you get another one, and she'll like it. But then she'll go back to the old one. So it's like humans. You get bored of eating the same shit.
You get bored,
But every time we buy it, we get different flavors of that same brand.
Well, talking of cat food and pet food, I remember being at a party and a friend of mine was horrendously drunk and he was so hungry that they were like, when are they going to get the nibbles out, man? I was like, dude, they don't have any nibbles here, man. Like, you might have to bring your own. And then he saw a bowl on the floor. He's like, well, someone's left a bowl here. I was like, mate, you don't want to eat from that, man. He was just munching dog
What was it, Bonio's?
Just
munching.
Bonio's are quite nice.
Just having some
pedigree chum from a bowl. And I was like,
dog biscuits are quite good.
What are you doing? Well, there you go. I don't know what they taste like.
Have you had, Jay?
They're all right. Bonio's my favourite.
Did you have biscuits in my...
Yeah, I had Bonio biscuits at your house. I even had a song that went along with it.
Go on, tell us.
Did you have your own theme tune? Go on, sing along.
I'm going to sing it now.
Please.
Do it in the style of Bane.
Please.
Do it, Bane.
Hum it.
Bane karaoke.
Hum the theme tune at least.
Oh, It was a song that we created for Borneo biscuits and we started eating them.
I want to go to a Borneo bar.
No, it was Borneo, sweet Borneo, that fruity bar with nutty bits. Looks like chocolate, tastes like shit.
That's brilliant.
Delicious.
We should do more singing. We should do more singing in this episode.
Do you remember? I'm pretty sure you were there, James. But Drew, you know Leggy as well, don't you? Darren Legg.
Leggy, was he tall, dude?
Yeah, covered in tattoos.
Ish.
Yeah, man.
Taller than us, just.
Green mohawk.
I remember him. Well, he's a beautiful reprobate of a man, but remember him snorting loads of spices and stuff like that.
Yeah, I did pepper once.
Did you?
Regretted it.
He
almost like we did the mouthful of the tablespoonful of flour. That was a stupid decision.
But Leggy snorted like cumin and like chili something. I'm sure he did wasabi peas as well.
Here's one for you then, Kev, and this will bring back the memories. Can you remember when I bought that bottle of 88% vodka?
Oh my god, that came to my brain literally when I was saying that, when it was me, you, and AK that had them.
Yeah. Drew, there was it's called Balkan, Balkan vodka.
How do you remember?
And I believe it's now illegal to sell in pubs. But it was 88% and 120 proof. And on the back of it was just 10 health warnings. I think one of them was like, this is used as a sterilizing agent in some German hospitals. And one was like, drinking in excess will kill you. And no one ever dared do more than half a shot of it. It was like, you did half a shot, and it was like you turned to a dragon and you just breathe fire.
Didn't we get through most of that bottle? AK, I remember we
took a long time.
We had a shot in my garden, and AK threw up, and I felt like I was about to, and then we went into town. That was a night. I remember that. I've got the photos of that.
I think I can up that. I think the one person that decided they would be like, yes, I can do it, was Chris Criddle. And he did one whole shot of it. And within an hour and a half of us being in town, he was like, I need to leave.
I swear to God, though, right?
It's the worst thing that has ever been in my body.
We drink at Kev's, and I'd just levitate to the nightclub or wherever we were heading.
That Balkan vodka, though, was next level. Can you still buy it? Balkan.
I'm sure that is a photo from that evening.
Is that AK?
That's AK. That is Barbara the mannequin.
That's fantastic.
And
could you send me that picture, please? Because I was talking to him earlier.
What are they wearing? Why do they look like the robot? You know, the robot in Guardians of the Galaxy.
But look at his body. We've lifted his jumper up and drawn all over his body as well. And
can you send me that picture, please? I'm going to send it to him.
Yeah. I think we've got more than that. I think I've got the photo. I can't find it now. But
actually, can you do that again? Because I want to try and screenshot that image.
Yeah.
Hold that up again.
Where did it go? So yeah, this is for the people listening and not watching. This is our friend AK, and Andy Carthauser, who fell asleep on my sofa, and we did a photo of him. We put the mannequin, pretending that was the mannequin.
Move it back a bit so I can see you too.
So I could see you too.
You goon.
And
that's fantastic.
And yeah, we drew all of it.
Yeah, Nebula. Why does your friend look like Nebula?
We put a penis on his head, and then we started doing doodles, and then we got silly, so we ended up just colouring his face in.
Yes, we did.
It's quite artistic, though, to be fair.
By the way, that mannequin almost killed Kev one day.
You know, Kate was listening, and Kate messaged me, not angry, but she was like, when we were talking about the mannequin, that was her mannequin that she stole. And we used to dress it in the kitchen all the time. And she was just like, that's Barbara. How could you forget her name? I was like, is it?
Honestly, I know we've mentioned it before, but that day when I came home from work early and you were in the shower and I got the top half of the mannequin and hid round the corner and you opened the door and I just went with the mannequin and you fell backwards into the bath and I thought you were going to die.
Yeah.
Like you had that much of a heart attack.
I don't think
I've never seen anyone so scared in my life.
I don't think it's bad bringing up old stuff we've discussed in this because guaranteed people will just start listening randomly and not.
I'm including all the horror films I've ever seen. I don't think I've ever seen anyone more scared in my life than you were at that point.
This is normal. That's Kate drawing on Katie J.
Brilliant.
This is 6 p.m. We haven't had a drink yet. It's not like drunk stuff. It's just they just do.
It's just a normal recurrence. Yeah. It's because you didn't have Etch-a-Sketcher at that time.
It's basically Etch-a-Sketch on scale.
We didn't have iPads back then.
Yeah. This is what we did, kids. This is what we did before iPad.
The one thing I regret, I wished, the one thing I'm envious of this, of like now, is we didn't have the ability to record anything. Like, you could go and get a video camera, of course, but now the amount of videos you can get from just whipping your phone out and filming something awesome like that, or taking a photo.
Oh my God.
But back then, you'd have to get a digital camera, and it was faff. You wouldn't have it on you. Your phone didn't take pictures. So imagine if like we did all that nowadays.
But would we have had it?
Like all the, we'll call it evidence.
Well, that's what
evidence.
That's what I mean. The kids these days are probably a little. Well, there's not.
They're very fortunate that they can just instantly capture a memory.
Yeah, but there's also a lot of kids that are probably better behaved because of the repercussions, whereas we did a lot of crazy stuff. You know, we didn't do
one thing there is this now is there's because of phones, there's a lot of dum-dums that can only operate via a screen.
Can I just tell you a quick story? When I was in the vape shop, there was this group of guys that would come in and go, mate, got to show you this video, yeah? And they'd show me the video of the bins that they'd like kicked into the lakes or the streams. And it's like, I was like, did you have beef with the bin? Like, what's going on? They're like, nah, it's just a bit of fun, isn't it? And I was like, and then the next day, the council were drilling the bins into the ground because these guys were going around kicking bins into lakes.
Remember the bench in your back garden, which I decided I wanted one day,
and filming it.
I was going to say,
Drew, did you ever hear about the garden bench?
We did a lot of stuff, but I don't think we ever hurt anyone or put. Well,
no bins were harmed during the time we were out.
One was harmed, and also a Viking as well.
Stuff that was not great, but we didn't do anything that would jeopardize anything or put us in prison.
One bin, a bench, and a Viking were harmed.
I will find it. I've got.
That sounds.
Oh God! Look what I just found.
Hey.
Is that you?
Yeah, that's
fantastic.
That's your jacket.
Yeah.
That's not my. That's your jacket.
Every night around Kev's, there was never. It was like when they step out of the curtains. What's that show? What's that famous show?
Stars in Their Eyes.
Stars in Their Eyes. Kev's house was like stars in our eyes. Oh. Everyone would turn up and just transform into some crazy.
That's me just getting headbutted.
Ooh.
You can see my skull. That's my.
Because your hair was receding even then.
Oh.
No, that's my hairline. Well, it's a bit further back now, but it was that shape. I've got the picture of the bench. I need to find it. Talk amongst yourselves.
That was the
best picture I can't show on here.
Kev, do you remember when that random guy punched you
later? I'll send it to. In fact, I'll send it to you both. But Drew, you're not allowed to share it, or you need to delete it.
Okay, Kev, do you remember that time that guy punched you in the face really randomly when we were outside some club? I don't know how many times you got punched in the face, but it was that one time where the police came and I had to go at the police and they almost arrested me. Yeah. And I was saying, my mate was just assaulted and you're going to arrest me.
Yeah, because someone smacked me and they punched me in the jaw, and because I was chatting to someone by a car, I hit my head on the car and then on the curb. And then when I came to, because I literally got knocked out, you'd bought me a burger and I hadn't really noticed, and you're like, Kev, I got you the burger. And I went, oh, cool. I went, why is my face hurting? And he goes, well, he just hit you. And I went, what? Who's he? And I didn't know who he was. And in a small town, you don't start beef unless you know why there's beef. So I was like,
beef in your burger.
Why did you hit me? And he didn't answer me. And there was a woman police officer going, would you like to press charges? And I was like, well, surely you should just arrest him because you witnessed him hit me. And she went, yeah. But would you like to press charges? He goes, I don't know who he is or why he's hit me. So until I find out that, I don't want to escalate it. So why don't you arrest him without it being my problem? And she went, well, no, only.
Why don't you do police work?
Only if you want to press charges. I went, well, no, because I don't know if he's like the brother of another bloke who I've had issues. So I didn't do anything.
But do you remember though, over his shoulder though, mate? I'm pretty sure he said, I think you're the wrong guy.
Yeah, he did. Like, what? No, I was completely the wrong person. He just it was a sucker shot because I was chatting to someone and he grabbed my shoulder, spun me round and clocked me. Yeah. No idea it was coming from anywhere.
Fucking crazy.
There's plenty of times where it might have been deserved, but that one wasn't one of them.
Undeserved.
But I'm looking through it. I can.
Did you just knock your glass over?
No.
Who?
Whoa.
Please, can you please send me that?
Who is that in the bin?
That's Nemo.
Nemo in the bin.
Send me that as well.
in a bin.
That was a victimless crime.
Okay, he's in the bin there.
I'm seeing
There's
a
one
weird
of us
theme
on the
here
bench.
now. I'm seeing a weird theme in this town with bins.
Send me that one of Nemo, please.
So
We'll put it in the group.
You know those
that's
things where those things where you put your face through and it looks like.
Oh, fantastic! Can you just send all of these to the group because I don't have any of these photos.
Guys, you know that thing you put your face through and it's like you're a mermaid or something underneath, and you know the ones I'm talking about?
Oh yeah, the ones at Brighton Pier and that.
Yeah, with the circular. Yeah. Is that
one you can just be a bin?
Yeah, exactly. Is that why people use bins? Because they didn't have any of those in this town.
Kev, you need to send all of these to me because I don't have any of these images. They're so good.
Oh, that was one thing. Now we're talking about old stuff. When Kate messaged me the other week when she was talking about stuff, she goes, "All these stuff is funny." That she goes, I listen to you guys and I enjoy it, and it's just nice and comforting. And occasionally I fall asleep, not because you're boring, but
nice.
It's just comforting to listen to you guys when I'm like,
"Wake up, you lazy bitch!"
But then she goes, "Do you remember that time when you and Nemo dug a moat?" I was like, "Yeah."
I remember that. I helped.
It was like
we dug a moat in the front of your house.
Yeah. So my front garden was tiny. We're a row of 5 terraces, and we had a garden that was postage stamp size. It's like you could walk 4 or 5 steps, and it was the end, and it was square. And me and Nemo were drinking pure vodka, no mixer, just drinking vodka. It was like
through your eye.
It was like 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. I think Shed was there as well because I think we were playing Guitar Hero. And
I think I walked out halfway through and was like, "What are you doing?"
Yeah,
you both were like, "We're digging a moat," and I was like,
"Yeah,
what?
Everyone
trying to
passed
protect
out.
yourself from the Black Knight."
It was a party at my house, so like everyone passed out, and it was just me and Nemo awake. But while we started doing it, people woke up and either joined in or noticed. And we're digging a trench around all the corners of our garden with a spade.
It went about 2 foot deep, if I remember.
Yeah, we're doing a moat. We're doing a fucking moat. What do you expect?
Building a trench.
And but do you know when we sobered up? We hadn't realised that the light had come up, but when a postman came and went, "All right, guys," I was like, "Yeah, we should probably stop and go to bed."
I also remember your neighbours weren't too impressed.
Yeah, my neighbours weren't.
I'm almost certain you dug slightly a moat into their garden as well.
Yeah, we need to have like a drainage system, obviously, filter it across.
Guys, do you remember half an hour ago when I said this would be a good segue for Civil War?
Yeah, I don't think we're talking about it.
We have spoken absolutely nothing about what we're going to tonight.
But the good news was Kevin didn't give away anything. It was kind of more like he kept the cards close to his chest.
Let's just mention it. No spoilers, Civil War. There you go. Oh, that's fantastic. I had a 9 Inch Nails tattoo on my head, temporary tattoo that I couldn't get off for 3 days.
Yeah, that lasted for quite a while. Yeah, that was I'm trying to find. Oh, there it is! Found it. I had to go in a different folder. There's the folder of the bit of the. You can't see the bench.
Oh, we even stole the
Andover advertiser.
Can you read that?
Wow.
Just thievery. What did it say?
It says Andover 2006. Your chance. Oh, Super Tots.
No, we can't see it, dude.
I'll send it.
There's a road sign there as well. So basically, every artifact that's not human in that picture is stolen.
Did you see Nemo there?
Yep, brilliant.
In a bin. Oh, wow. It looks like a front of a weird, like an album for some weird band. Like, yeah, creative for sure.
Yeah. I'll put it in the group, but there's one picture, Drew. You will know which one it is. Don't show that to anyone.
Can you put the one of Nemo in the bin on there? And the one of me and you, because that's fantastic.
I've just sent them all, so Drew can look now, so he can see the pictures properly. But yeah, don't show that one. But yeah.
Oh, it's you and a G-string.
What? Don't make stuff up just because I said don't say anything.
Oh, no, I see what you mean. Oh, wow.
Yeah, don't share that one.
Yeah.
If anyone wants to send a donation, we will happily send you that photo.
I like how it's gone. Oh, and you know what? From what Drew was mentioning earlier, I have photo evidence. So that evening where I got sucker punched in the face,
no way,
it fucked my tooth up as well. Oh, can you see it? Is that light too much in the way?
Well, I can just see all the blood around your mouth. You look like a vampire, yeah.
Why is some of the fine? I'll send it.
Mate, you've got the same situation because your light is on your face. It just.
Yeah, but I showed a picture earlier and it was fine. But yeah, that one's not good.
You have to get past the light in your face.
That's a photo in my bedroom, and you can see in my eyes. I'm like, yeah, it's cool, but in my eyes, I'm like, no, I'm not good. I'm not good. I just got punched in the head after copious amounts of alcohol. Yeah, that's life in little small towns.
Life.
That was 2005, baby.
That's what all the people say. Did we want to mention one film?
Have we mentioned anything about movies or anything? How did this conversation even start?
There was no question, no film.
Oh,
I can't even remember how we even started.
We didn't get to any of this. Okay, so
did someone ask a question?
I'll give one small thing about me and Drew both saw Civil War. We both really enjoyed it. We both recommend you see it. We can't tell you much about it because it's full of spoilers. Epic.
But can I remember how this started? What was the question that spurred on this random?
I didn't ask the question yet.
That's what I'm saying. We didn't even have a question.
You talked about NBA, and then we went on to
Kobe.
Politics.
It was Kobe and then politics. Then
and
Trump.
Then criminal behaviour.
Criminal behaviour.
Which related crimes.
Yeah, there's lots of photos I can't show you. Nothing that weird, but definitely drunken shenanigans. That that was a great time.
Mate, is that Nimmo? Is that Nimmo with you in that picture?
Yeah.
Mate, do you know that he looks like he could be a vampire himself because he hasn't aged. Like, he looks exactly the same.
Yeah.
He's in Philippines or somewhere at the moment.
Yeah, well, he listens to us as well. He listened to us as well.
Oh,
I was out with him a couple of weeks ago.
Shout out to Nimmo, man, who is aging beautifully, by the way.
Oh, he's a very handsome man. He always was, but he's pretty ripped as well. He went. I probably you might not
John Wick
to know all the information, but he went vegan. I don't know if he still is, but he does Muay Thai. I do kickboxing. He does Muay Thai. It's slightly different. He uses more knees and elbows. What?
Wait, there's Kong.
What are you saying? No, that's
Hong Kong Fooey.
It's the one with the energy. Kong.
That's Tai Chi.
Tai Chi Kong.
That's Tai Chi.
Okay, Tai Chi.
Yeah, that's
got nothing to do with this conversation.
Somebody else said about Kong in it, but Tai Chi.
Kickboxing, I kick people and punch people like a boxing match, but I add some knees and feet and shins. Whereas Nemo would fight like this.
Not the face.
He would fight like this and use elbows like that to hit people. Whereas I'm more like a boxer and then bonus legs.
Bonus legs. Is that because you want to be in the UFC?
Bonus legs.
Here's a limb out of nowhere.
Have you seen this new thing they're doing with the UFC where people are CGIing like someone pulling out a guitar when they get knocked out or like playing the drums?
Yeah, I have seen that. A saxophone was a funny one.
So like they get knocked out and like they fall like that, and then like drums appear and they start. They're like freaking out.
Drew's knowledge of action sports is all like physical sports. Like, oh, careful! He knows origami.
Fair enough.
I've seen him fold a swan. Careful.
Fair enough. Yeah, but swans are dangerous, man. Swans are crazy.
Yeah, they're gits, aren't they?
They'll F you up, mate. So wait, seriously, Kev, was that your Civil War kind of review? This is what makes me laugh. You're like, Drew, make sure you go to the cinema, make sure you watch everything, and then we talk about it for 2 seconds, and it's like Civil War. Watch it.
There's an argument, right? I listened to a couple of movie podcasts, and what I've started doing recently is not listen to them. I've started skipping stuff because they're talking about Civil War, and I'm like, I haven't seen it yet. I'm going on the third day. They seen it on the first day, and their episode comes out instantly. I'm like, I want to listen to their thoughts after I've seen it a week later. So I think there's an argument for us reviewing some films a week after, and then it coming out.
Yeah, but it doesn't have to be a spoiler, man.
Yeah.
We can talk about how nicely shot it is, or the music that was used, or the characters that are portrayed. But what I would say is I've just realized your secret, Kev, your secret weapon is that you watch all these films and you do a beautiful thing on your Kev's film thoughts, and then on here you just zip by. You're like, yeah, you might as well have a little poster that says refer to Kev's film thoughts.
Shameless plug.
Exactly, right? Exactly.
Yeah, I mean,
Kev, I know your plan. I know your game.
Well, no, yeah. If you want to get a review of, I mean, I didn't like my own review of Civil War because there was so much I want to say, but you on Instagram and shit, you want to do like a quick snappy thing. You don't want to get into detail, right? So one scene,
but there's more detail on your Kev thing than this. That was
one
2
scene
seconds.
that annoyed me in Civil War, right? So if we're talking about Civil War, the new A24 film, by Alex Garland, who is incredible.
What's it even about?
It's okay.
Time to discuss what we watched this week in Cinema Selection.
So the premise of Civil
To be
War,
clear, at this point, I think you're working for A24.
I mean,
it does look like
Civil War is doing the coolest shit. I mean, A24 is doing the coolest.
Is it as good as Captain America Civil War?
Much better, in my opinion. I didn't really rate Captain America Civil War, to be honest.
Civil War was amazing.
I know a lot of people do, but if we're talking about those ones, then Endgame was the only one that was that good. But okay, I'll read you the small premise because it's quite it's convoluted how to explain it. But what IMDb says is a journey across dystopian future America, following a team of military embedded journalists as they race against time to reach DC before the rebel factions descend upon the White House.
That describes so many films.
Well, that feels like
What's
Star
it
Wars.
actually about?
That actually feels like Star Wars when you explain that a bit.
It's okay.
As soon as you say dystopian, it's like generic.
It's not dystopian though. I mean, dystopian is the correct word. It is the correct word, but when you hear the word dystopian, you think 20 years in the future, some mad shit that probably would never happen. You know, robots and aliens and bullshit. Whereas this,
there's no aliens in this.
Trump almost made this a reality last year, a couple of years ago. This is almost what Trump did. So when this film comes out, when you watch it, you go, shit, this is all plausible.
Yeah, it felt almost more like a documentary.
Yeah, the bit I was going to say
before into the chaos of America.
Before I had to premise it, the only scene that annoyed me, and from then on, I thought of the film differently. This is my only negative. It's a pet peeve.
One negative.
I think this film is a 5-star film. It's incredible, flawless.
Absolutely.
But as a photographer, there was a couple of moments annoying me.
You've got to go 10 stars. 5's not enough.
I love that. I love that. He's like picking out the continuity of photography.
It's 100% perfect film. The continuity is my personal preference as a photographer.
Of course it is.
So there's a scene where the photojournalist, the older one, Kirsten Dunst, stops the car as they're going across country to get out. She's been a bit of a dick to the younger one because she doesn't want her to get involved in this because it's so dangerous.
Yeah, she's trying to protect her.
But Kaylee Spenny, who plays Jessie, she's who plays Priscilla in the Elvis film, Priscilla.
Yeah, man, you were saying, yeah.
The biggest thing
she's in Mayor of Easttown as well.
Yeah, the biggest shock to me is that when they say this 23-year-old's joining us for the ride, I'm like, fuck, she ain't 23. And then when I Googled her, I was like, she's 26, and she was Priscilla. Oh my God, she looks so young. She looks like a child. But anyway, they get out of the car, and there's a crashed helicopter in front of a J.C. Penney, like hardware store.
Yeah, with the trolleys and stuff, yeah.
And they walk right up to the helicopter, and Kirsten Dunst, as a photographer, her advice is, right, I'm on board now. Take a photo. This is a cool photo. And she proceeds to take close-up photos of a helicopter. I'm like, what are you doing? Go back 50 meters and get a photo that we saw as the audience of them pulling up with the helicopter.
She might have wide angle.
You need. No, she's got a fixed lens. She's quite.
Yeah, it's a Nikon as well. It's a Nikon.
She needs to go really far back and get a shot of that helicopter with the J.C. Penney, the shot that we saw as we're approaching. But when they arrive, she's taking close-ups of like, who cares? That's a pointless photo.
So basically, Kevin should have directed the photographs in the film.
Also, has Kirsten Dunst been in a good film? Wow.
Oh, she's great. And she's a moody, lovely / horrible, not horrible.
But she's bloody awful in Spider-Man.
That sounds controversial. I don't even remember.
Yeah, she's awful. She's so like read off the script crap. It's amazing.
Mate, I think she's brilliant.
And
man.
do you know what's interesting about this film?
Actor.
Do you know who her husband is? Drew will know.
The scary dude with the red sunglasses.
Yeah, what's his name?
Jesse
Plemons.
Fox.
Jesse
Plemons. I forgot that they were husband and wife when I was watching it because he's terrifying.
He steals the film, though. They were saying he's not even a supporting role. He's a fucking cameo, and he steals the scene.
4 minutes tops, and he stayed with me. I was like, wait a minute, why is he wearing pink sunglasses? That just... Yeah. I put money on Jesse Plemons just went, if I'm going to be a psychopath, can I have like something funny and weird to wear?
Yeah.
So I had no idea.
I love the line he says though, when he's like, okay, you're American. What kind of American?
What kind of... But he's doing that. He's like, what kind of American?
Yeah, bro, he might as well itch his cheek with the gun he's holding. You're like, whoa.
Yeah, and he goes, where are you from? He's like, Hong Kong? And he's like, Hong Kong, China? Like there's any other? And he goes, he's crying. He's like, yeah. He's like, gone, instant.
Spoiler.
Shit, spoiler. Sorry. We won't say the next bit because there's so many...
Also, I apologise to anyone in Hong Kong, China, because there are some political issues going on over there at the moment. So forgive Kev for his absolute disregard for your...
No, we love Hong Kong, China. I've never been.
Hong Kong, China's not a thing. They're two separate things.
Yeah, Hong Kong is an island off China. I get it. And they're completely different political parties, and they have different rules around the internet.
Yes, Kevin. Stop alienating the guests.
Kate lived on...
Because we have literally 0 listeners in both of those places.
Kate lived in Hong Kong. She's now in Switzerland, but she lived in Hong Kong.
But she's not Hong Kongish, so it's fine.
Well, no one's Hong Kong-ish. You're Hong Kong or you're not. Going on the ish, my friend, he does listen as well. Adam Sonnefeld, he is a Jewish man. And I work with him in London.
Oh, probably wouldn't appreciate the Anne Frank jokes.
Actually, he probably wouldn't give a fuck.
At this point, it's funny, isn't it? They get over it.
It's all right. She just loved the attic. She was just looking to develop her home and got stuck up there.
And she knew that Nazis like Daleks. They can't go upstairs. So
did you see the Family Guy episode where Peter's
so much?
Do you see the Family Guy episode where Peter's just eating the crisps in the Anne Frank bit where they're in the attic and she's like, everybody just be quiet, and he's there like and they're like,
there's another one where they're like, the Nazis go in and she's typing, they're like, should we check upstairs? And they're like, she's typing, they're like, nah, it'd be fine. Walk out.
The joke I was going to say about my friend Adam Sonnefeld is that he's a Jewish man, his family are Jewish, and he was a estate agent and now he's a police officer. And he's a lovely man, love him to bits. But also, the funny thing is that it's probably a generic joke that everyone hears all the time, but I'd never heard it before when he first said it. Now it's obvious. But I was speaking to him and I was like, you know that moment with a different religion or politics, it's kind of like edgy territory to have a conversation with. So I approached it gently and I went, right, man, you know you're like Jewish. Like, tell me some stuff about your religion because I don't know enough. I want to educate myself a bit more. Being in London, you see so many cultures. Tell me some stuff. And he went, I can't tell you much, And I'm like, oh, why? And I was like, well, I'm Jew-ish. That was his joke.
Nice.
That's terrible.
Basically, he's not.
So Jews are terrible at comedy. So
Jewish people run Hollywood. They run all the comedy.
I think Andrew Schultz is Jewish. I think he's hilarious. Andrew Schultz.
Every comedy movie you've seen has been written by a Jewish person.
Have you seen Andrew Schultz live?
I don't even know who he is. I know the name.
So funny. I'm going to send you guys some videos. It's so funny. Have you ever heard of a program called Between Two Ferns?
Oh, him.
Yeah, I have heard.
Yeah. He's vicious.
Yeah. Have you seen Kev Between Two Ferns?
Yes.
It's Zach Galifianakis, who I think is also potentially Jewish.
Zach Galifianakis is very Jewish.
Yeah. He interviews people, but is deliberately mean to them. But the outtakes of it honestly have me crying with laughter.
He's funnier than that kid you mentioned earlier. What's that?
That's Somebody Feed Phil, which is a food documentary with an amazing...
I'll say like a GoFundMe.
Why are you talking about a food documentary? We're talking about stand-up comedians.
I'm going to send you
That's
a
like me
hilarious.
sending a
between two
picture of
ferns
like.
No, because
I'm going to send you a between
he
two
wrote a
ferns
TV series.
outtakes and an Andrew Schultz bit that's so funny.
He's called Phil Rosenthal, and he wrote the famous comedy Everybody Loves Raymond.
Oh,
Okay.
So there is a link there. It's not just like, hey, Drew, like the cookery program.
Kev, have you seen the Andrew Schultz?
Give me a break. It looked
bit
weird.
about-
We're talking about comedy, and you went cooking. I was like, what?
Yeah, but
No
anybody that
context.
knows, when you were talking about Jews, and he's a very funny Jewish.
Kev, have you seen the Andrew Schultz one about blackface? It's
I
so
have.
amazing.
No,
We were
Isn't it
so
the
close.
best
We were
joke
so
ever?
close.
No, this is fine. This joke stands up in court. It's fine.
It's so good.
God,
This joke.
it stands up in court. Tell it then, if you can tell it.
But he's like, oh, blackface is blackface is bad, you can't do it. But then you see them Navy SEALs commercials, and you're like, okay.
That's it.
He's like, blackface on a boat. Blackface.
Wow.
And he's like, they can't swim. I didn't say that.
You guys.
Got to rebrand
so
this episode as trigger warning. We may get a touch edgy.
Yeah, I'll send you the clips, especially the Christopher Walken
Maybe
one.
this
The Christopher
episode was
Walken
inspired
story
by
is
Jimmy
so
Carr.
funny.
Put an 18 plus in the corner, Drew.
Yeah, the Christopher Walken
Yeah.
one on the Firing Kid is absolutely hilarious.
Yeah, I've seen all. They're so good. But yeah, so this episode is about Civil War. Watch it.
Was it?
It's good. It's
That's false advertising, Kev.
Hey,
no.
It's all right.
I'm looking at my book now because I'm that anal. I've written down all the films I've seen.
Talk about anal in your book.
James, he's drinking his 8.2% piss.
It's 8.3 actually.
That's 8.2.
It's 8.3. It's 8.3.
All right, show how many your points are.
It's quiz time.
Bastard, 8.3.
Yes.
Right,
I
there's
should
all
have
the
put money
films
on that, man. I'm an idiot.
That's just cinema and Netflix this year, and I'd definitely say that Civil War, apart from Dune and Iron Claw, and no, that's it. That's my only 5 out of 5 stars. Civil War is maybe the best film I've seen this year.
No, I'm not having that.
What?
Across the Spider-Verse.
I've not seen
He
it.
hasn't seen it yet. When are you seeing it?
This Saturday. Look, it's in the diary.
Oh, for crying out loud! How have you not seen it?
Oh,
Marty
no.
Burford,
in the cinema for like 6 months.
Wait.
You know Birdie?
Yeah.
He saw it the other day and said it's absolutely amazing.
Can we have a very special episode for that one? Because obviously James is going to lose his shit when we've all seen it.
It's one of my favourite films.
I've
We were
seen it.
talking earlier about getting Max King on an episode, so we're going to negate him next week because we need to...
Well, Terrifier 3 has a launch date now, so maybe we should time it with
next
that.
week is Spider-Verse, and that's going to alienate a lot because the feedback I've had from people is that I enjoy your chat, but when you talk about superheroes too much, I phase out because I don't care.
Cough.
Okay, so next...
Terrifier 3 has a release date now, so we should maybe time that with Max May.
All right. Okay, perfect. Is that going to come in the cinema?
I would say no, because I don't think any cinema would allow that.
I've not seen the first two, and I'm sure they're good in that genre, but
no,
what's that TV channel that does?
But Terrifier has created such a big thing that I'm sure it's going to be in cinema.
I don't.
It doesn't have a big enough audience though. It's cult.
It's
not.
So
yeah, it'll be there for 1 week. It'll be there for 1 week.
You get complaints.
It'll be fine. It'll be there.
It's too bloody.
Have you not seen the first?
Seen
two
any
yet?
of them?
It's bloody.
Oh my!
They're like
honestly,
they're
Kev,
on Prime for 99p at the moment, so I'll give it a go.
They are.
It's not that I don't know what. I won't be phased by it because it's slasher. It's fine.
But the thing about it is, it's the storyline makes no sense. There's zero storyline.
It's an excuse for gore, and I'm sure it'll be gory.
But the practical effects on it. You've seen it, Joe, haven't you? One of them.
I saw moments.
It's bad, isn't it?
It's brutal, man.
Okay.
Yeah.
So next week, no Max King. Love you, Max King. We'll have you. But next week we're going to have an episode. Not let's not bang on about it whole half an hour tops on Spider-Verse.
Let's talk about Terrifier as well.
Spider-Verse.
Let's all watch Terrifier.
And then half an hour on
I've got 1 and 2 on my Prime account if you want my login.
Yeah. No, I'm going to see it in the cinema. I'm going to see it in IMAX.
I've got 1 and 2 on my Prime account because I'm weird.
No, it's like £1 at the moment. It's cheap.
Oh, are they really? Damn it! I paid like £5 for them.
No, but jumping back to what I was saying though, can we have a very special episode when Kev has seen Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse?
Terrifier, 99p.
Ah, that's annoying.
Terrifier 2, down from £1.99 to 99p.
Bargain.
They're so bad. As in, like, terrible movies, but like the gore is just so unnecessary.
Drew, should me and you try and fit in Terrifier 1 before next week? And then maybe Terrifier 2 before the following week, and then we can bring that with Mex King in 2 weeks' time.
But to be fair, if we're only going to talk about it for 4 seconds, I think we're good, you know? So
no, we'll talk about. I don't want to talk about too much about Civil War because it's so fucking good.
Maybe a good one to watch for a conversation would be Slasher Season 3.
Who?
Guys, can I just say, right?
Slasher
when we talked
Season
about
3.
Sorry. Yeah.
Can I just say, when we talked about having
catchphrase.
when we were going to have like a whale score, right? Of like cinematography, story, plot. That's not giving away anything.
Yeah.
So you could have had Civil War for story. It's 4 whales. For cinematography, it's 5 whales.
No, Civil War gets 5 out of 5 for all sections, in my opinion.
Well, just a quick one then. We all have Netflix, don't we?
We all have whales.
Everyone watch Season 3 of Slasher. That's one to talk about next week.
I take it you don't need to see 1 and 2 then?
1's good.
No, they're not connected, is what I mean.
No, they're not connected. 1's like American Horror Story. So 1's good. 2's okay. 3 is really good.
Do you know what's annoying? We probably need to cut this off, but I could probably talk for another 2 hours.
That's what she said.
No sign of wait.
She could talk for 2 more hours.
Well,
depends
what you're doing. I meant when you said we should cut it off.
I'd like to have an important
Jew style.
This date's going well. I want to have a debate about politics for another 2 hours, please.
Right, should bin it off then.
Don't run away. Don't run away. I'll press it off, but don't go anywhere.
Fair enough.
All right. Next week we will discuss teaser.
Absolutely nothing that we said we would.
Back to Black, the Amy Winehouse one. I'll leave you with this. It's fantastic, and I've heard some bad reviews, and I think that's bullshit.
It got brutal reviews. Yeah.
A lot of people I posted my review saying it's brilliant, and I've had so many comments saying I fully agree with you. I also loved it. No one said anything negative about it. And every time I post a review about a film, there's always one dickhead that goes, "Well, I didn't quite like it that much." I'm like, "Why'd you comment? Shut up. Piss off." But everyone's gone, "I love it." So
a lot of people on YouTube are cussing it though because they think it's distasteful.
It's not. It's
distasteful.
It's not.
I think the person doing it looks very much like her, which is crazy.
She's she blends in.
Yeah, Marissa.
I said to Drew earlier, like she blends in. Like you, after 5 minutes, you forget it's an actress. You think you're watching a documentary.
I think making a biopic is nothing other than respectful. To be fair.
Yeah, I mean, she was a troubled person. They had to show her as a troubled person. They can't show her as a saint when she wasn't. She was a lovely person that fucked up a lot of things.
I'm sure her family are getting a lot of money for
and they're involved. They're involved.
No, but what it was that upset people is they wanted more of the process of her coming up with the music and the whole concept of Back to Black album.
But maybe they don't know about that because they didn't know her, and maybe she was the only one who knew that. So.
One of the biggest negative reviews of it was that there's nothing revolutionary about it. It's stuff we already know. To a degree, and I don't think that's true.
Why would it be revolutionary? Like, it's ridiculous. Like, if you look at a Doors documentary,
I don't agree with that because I didn't realize that Blake looks into a pint glass and he's got a premonition
that's
of a future.
Obviously.
That's probably bullshit. yeah.
I think the problem.
But you look at any prologue documentary, you never see anything that you didn't already know.
To a degree, and I think the difference is with stars that are that recent. If we talk about something from the 80s, you know the premise, but everything's revolutionary.
But even the Doors one, Jim Morrison, we always knew that he burnt down a house. Yeah. He did all this crazy stuff. The only people that knew the stuff you wanted to know are them, and they're not here anymore.
The point is, when you come to things like Amy Winehouse, which only passed away fairly recently, is that she lived in today's world where social media was a thing, where newspapers were a thing. So we knew every section of our life. Whereas people in the 60s, like the Beatles, although it's well reported, you didn't know the intricacies that much apart from people's
reports. But you still don't know the personal stuff because she wasn't like a public figure, was she? She wasn't like out there being
documentary is amazing.
That's what I want to see. I haven't seen this. That's
why have you not watched it? It's on like BBC or some shit. I can't remember.
No, it's not. It was supposed to be on Channel 4, but I checked and then it says this is no longer available.
I watched it not that long ago. Maybe a year ago.
Yeah.
Definitely watched that. But Back to Black and Civil War, both incredible films. Watch it. The actress in Back to Black sang a load of the songs, and she's phenomenal. Anyway, we need to cut this off, otherwise this is mental. We could make 4 episodes out of this one episode.
I need fuck's
sake. We should probably end on a positive rather than fuck's sake. Love you guys. Thank you for listening.
Thank you.
Follow, rate, and share with your friends. That's an important one. Tell your friends.
Yeah, if you have, got
James is exploding. That's what we wanted earlier. You need the visuals to understand what we're talking about now. Anyway, we might be a little bit tipsy. You could have guessed from this episode.
2 thumbs of fireworks.
I mean, he had 8.3% cider.
Grotty. Love you guys. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. This has been Rage Whale. Thanks for listening to Your Movie Podcast.